Hi everyone, I am Loretta Homework. Welcome back to Teach and Reach YouTube channel. In the next 50 minutes or so, I am going to share one of our Outschool Info sessions that I had yesterday with several different folks. I hope you get some information about Outschool compared to VIP Kid and why you might want to jump into the Outschool bandwagon and start teaching on Outschool. Lots of good details, and if you have any questions at all, please email me teachandreach2020@gmail.com and I will get back to you as soon as I can. The referral link for Outschool can also be found right after right under the video after the subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and then click on it and click on the referral link. And if you have any questions at all, email me teachandreach2020@gmail.com. So hi Brecca and hi Ashley. Thank you for coming to attend this Outschool Zoom info session or Outschool info session on Zoom rather. So what is Outschool, right? First and foremost, I think Brecca knows me, but Ashley, I don't really know you. So I'm just gonna give you a quick short summary on who I am. So let me just quickly share with you. Hang on one second. Where is it? It's amazing. All these I have like so many things open, right? And I'm like trying to find where is it? It's right here, Okay, hang on one second.
The joys of Zoom.
Oh my gosh, yes. Joys of Zoom, yes. Joy of Zoom, yes. You would think that I'm like an expert on it now because I've done so many of these.
They keep changing it.
Well, yeah, they do. All right, so let me just share my screen. Share my screen right here. Okay. Present. All right. Present. Come on. Present right there. All right, here we go. So Outschool Info Session. If you want to reach me after this, my Gmail is the one that I emailed you, teachandreach2020@gmail.com. Okay, feel free to email me with any questions if you can't think of any while we're talking right now. So about me, I'm a mom to a 19-year-old and I have 5 rescued dogs, and I know Brecca knows this. So I'm a lawyer turned educator. I also I am elementary education certified from K through 8. I'm a certified reading specialist for K through 12. I have not technically worked with high schoolers, not in a reading specialist capacity. I've worked up all the way up to middle school though. I'm also a current university lecturer, a dog trainer, private tutor, and a VIP Kid teacher. So everything that revolves around education is me, right? I live, breathe, and eat and sleep education, all kinds, dogs and kids alike. All right. And all right, so what is Outschool? It's like this big in thing. Outschool has been around for quite some time now. It is a US based company. It's based in San Francisco, California. It allows for small group live online classes to it's the platform that they use is really Zoom. They have Zoom embedded onto their platform, and so you just click on it. It acts just like Zoom. So like I'm doing with the sharing of the screen and whatnot, it's just like that. So if you've been doing Zoom, right, Brecca, I know you've been doing Zoom with the kindergartners that you've been meeting. It operates just like that. It's a community marketplace where teachers manage and promote classes to parents, and it helps parents find and register for classes offered outside of regular school. So when the coronavirus hit, right, and we were all on lockdown, there was this sudden influx of parents who really, really wanted to find stuff for their kids to do online, because not all schools went into teaching mode right away because they had to prepare their own teachers. So Outschool became like a thing where, not only now, it used to be where homeschoolers would get like classes and whatnot. So, but now we have like all kinds of students. And I think for the first month, like in between like March and April, they even had a special program where parents were getting some kind of a grant to be able to get their kids classes on Outschool. I don't know whether that grant is still available, but if you have parents who are interested in it, you can actually send them, and I have links for that as well. You can actually send them a link where they can get a $20 credit. And most of the Outschool classes are anywhere between $8 to $15. So they can choose to like try out a class or two, you know, for their kids. All right, so that's Outschool, and it's 24/7 because kids in Australia, New Zealand, anywhere in the world can take the classes. So if you offer the class at, I don't know, 3 a.m. in the morning because you can't sleep, and you know, like every day at 3 a.m. you're awake and you want to offer a 3 a.m. class, then they will market your class to, like, you know, kids in other countries that are awake at that time. I like Outschool because I can teach at a normal sane hour. So I can teach in the morning and in the early afternoon or evening. I don't have to teach overnight hours. So because with VIP Kid, although I do have regular morning hours and night hours, sometimes I used to teach overnight hours. And, you know, teaching a class at 2 o'clock in the morning, because it is 2 o'clock in the morning here and 2 p.m. in Beijing, was tough on my body. I mean, it was so tough on my body. I couldn't take it. So I'm like, what can I do to replace part of my lost income, right? Outschool was the answer. Plus, I can teach anything. So I can teach reading stuff, and some of my courses has got to do with dog training. It's like things I love, things I enjoy. So I have a book club as well there, you know. I've not had a book club with 5th graders for the longest time in my career. So I'm really, really excited about that. So what is your passion? What do you want to do? That's what you can do in Outschool. There are limitations. They don't allow you to do like religious related stuff. Okay, it has to be objective. And so if it's something scientific, make sure it is grounded in science and not because somebody said so. That is not grounded in science. Okay, and so what are the requirements, right? The application requirements. You need to be 18 plus years old. Hang on, I know somebody said that she was going to join us. You need to be residing full-time in the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or United Kingdom. You must have a good command of written and spoken English language. And they actually look at your application when you put in your application. So make sure there's no grammatical errors, that you are writing it well, in the sense that, you know, it conveys what you want to say, right? No abbreviations and whatnot. You should have reliable and fast internet connection. So if you are already using Zoom, then you are capable of doing Outschool because it supports Zoom, or Zoom. Yeah, it supports Zoom. And then ask yourself, what's your passion or your expertise, right? To base your classes around. No bachelor's degree is required. So that was one thing. Like, I had friends who either were working towards a bachelor's degree, or they don't have a bachelor's degree because they have an associate's degree, or, you know, they just have a lot of life experience, but they wanted to do something while they're home. And I could not refer them to VIP Kid because that required a bachelor's degree. But with Outschool, you don't. So, you know, your experiences and what you're good at will come into play here. Hang on one second. I think somebody's trying to come in and I can't see her right here. Let's see. Is this Sherry?
Yes.
Okay, Sherry. All right. Just listen in. I know you're driving, so don't try to watch the screen or anything, because I'll be sending out the video as well. So don't worry about it. Just listen.
Okay. I'm so sorry. You know, you got my email, and then I forgot about it, and I didn't check, and then you sent me that message. I was like, oh my gosh, and there it was. So I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Hang on one second. So let me see. Where did I stop? Right here. Oops. Why doesn't it let me? Yeah. Okay. Back to square one, huh? All right. Present. That's what I need. I need to present. Okay. So let me start back where we kind of left off. Present. All right. So you need to be 18 years old. You need to reside in either US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or United Kingdom. I think all of you are residing right here in the US. Good command of written and spoken English, reliable and fast internet connection. You can teach it from an iPad or a computer or a laptop, you should probably think about what you want to teach, what you want to base your classes around. You're not stuck to that, so you can expand from what you've put down on your application form. No bachelor's degree is required. And then after you fill out the application form, which requires you to also upload a video that is less than 60 seconds long, talking about yourself, right? They do that as they require that as kind of like a check to make sure that you can speak English and that, you know, that folks can understand you. After that, when you go through the approval process, they will ask to do a background check. You don't have to pay for that. They do the background check. They run the national background check on you. And for me, the background check only took like 10 minutes. My whole application to Outschool just took like a maximum of probably 2 days, even less maybe. But then I know some folks that theirs took like about 7 to 10 days. So I don't know whether it's like a, which person you get funneled into or what, but mine didn't take that long. You have to look at the community standards, basically making sure like, you know, you act professional with the parents, because parents can email you directly onto the from the Outschool platform to ask you questions about the course before they sign up. So you want to make sure like you're replying to their emails and all that. And the class content policy, you'll read that and make sure like you're not offering, they don't encourage religious classes on Outschool. So it should be objective, secular, fun stuff that kids are going to sign up for. I have friends who just did like story time for 4 to 6 year olds. And then they talk about, I think it was like a story time on like different animals. And then they had students come in with their like a stuffed animal and talk about their stuffed animal and kind of introduce their stuffed animal. So it can be as simple as that. It allows for children to talk about the story as well as something that they're bringing into class, allows for conversations. And parents really cherish those kind of things, especially since, you know, most parents are like stuck with their kids all day long with this coronavirus, right? Any questions so far?
So are the kids muted? Are people muted?
Yeah,
and then, you know, like a regular Zoom?
Yeah, it's a regular Zoom. You can mute them while you are reading the book, and then you can unmute them when you want them to share. And then if, let's say, I don't know, like I've not had any kids misbehave, but I've heard of people who've had kids who misbehave and who are like doing terrible stuff on camera. So they stop the video, like they stop not the teacher's video, but like the kids' video, and then kind of move them into the waiting room and send a message to the parent of that kid and the child, like, yeah, and then before they can come back in, because they're obviously messing up the educational experience of the other kids who have also paid, right? So you can do that, but I've not had a bad experience yet, knock on wood. I've not had a bad experience yet. But yes, and all your Outschool classes, because the platform that they use is Zoom, right? Are recorded. And the reason why they are recorded, and when you sign the contract, you'll see that too. The reason why they're recorded is because sometimes parents will, or kids even, will sign up, and then they have a conflicting thing, and they've already paid for it, right? And so instead of refunding them like the $10 or the $15 or $12 that they paid for that particular class, you will just have them watch the recording. So then they still get the class. So they still get to attend the class. And then, you know, they might be able, like I had one student who signed up who she double booked class, for example. I think she double booked the class, yeah. And so what she did was she ended up watching my class lesson, and then she sent me a video on the exercise that she had to do with her dog. And then I just gave a quick feedback on there. But, you know, she didn't attend the whole class, but her mom was like, no, I'm not going to ask for a refund because, like, you know, we totally messed up here. Some parents do ask for a refund, and then that will be up to you. But technically, if they've signed up and they didn't cancel like within the 24 hours, then they don't get a refund on that. And we'll talk more about the payment and whatnot. But the tech requirements, you should be able, your whatever system that you're going to be using, whether it's computer or iPad or whatever, it needs to be able to have enough memory for the Zoom platform. You will need a webcam, and most of us have webcams on our computer already, right? Inbuilt is fine. Inbuilt microphone's fine as well, as long as you know that it's not going to be totally noisy outside. it's totally fine, and reliable internet connection, obviously. So if you're already currently using Zoom for your work purposes, then chances are you already have reliable internet connection. Now, I'm just going
And so are you creating PowerPoint for all of this, or?
So you don't necessarily have to. It depends. Like I have folks who are doing story time stuff. They are reading the book and showing it to the students, and then engaging the students that way. And then the students are bringing, I'm just giving this example of Linda, who did this with the 4 to 6 year olds, and then she had the kids bring in their stuffed animals and then talk about it. So she didn't create a PowerPoint. Now I did like for my class, for my dog training thing, I did like a 3-slide PowerPoint on the quiet time exercise, what it is, why it's beneficial, and then like frequently asked questions about this exercise, and that's it. So, but once you create that, offer the same course to like different students, like over and over again. And so whether or not you create a PowerPoint is up to you. You don't have to. It all depends on the kind of class that you're going to have. So,
okay.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes. So far.
So,
yes.
So I'm just going to quickly, and I know like some of you are not with VIP Kit, but I'm just going to quickly kind of show the differences between it. So with VIP Kit, the company sets our pay rate per class, and we work the Beijing time, right? Beijing time, late nights, early mornings. The curriculum is prepared, no lesson plans, and it's all one-on-one classes. But with Outschool, you get to set your own pay rate per student class, right? So I'm going to give you an example. So the class that I had, which was like a 30-minute class on quiet time bonding, I charged $15 per student, and that was a half, well, sorry, that wasn't a half, it was a 40-minute class. It was, I charged $15 per 40 minutes, and then I had several students sign up for it. Now, Outschool does take 30% out of it. So I had 3 people signing up, right? So that was 15 times 3 was 45, and I get 70% of that. So for that 40-minute class, I got $31.50 for that particular class, which is a lot more than what I would get a VIP Kit per half hour or even per hour. And then the class was in the daytime. It was in the afternoon, really. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You choose what you want to teach. You can, whatever you are passionate about. Like, they gave you a list too of what parents are asking for, what students are asking about. One of the things that was on the list that I saw from this weekend was, I don't know, makeup for like teenage girls. And so somebody who's really into makeup could really teach like cool stuff on there. I mean, I don't know anything about makeup, but you know, that would be cool. Or I also had who are doing like origami with, you know, kids. I mean, these are like fun stuff that, you know, you're showing while you're doing, and they're doing it with you. Obviously, you know, if supplies are needed, you're going to list that in the class before they even sign up, because you'll have, like, once you're approved, you actually have to submit like a very simple, and I'm talking about simple because I know what a complicated lesson plan is, like very detailed. This is not even that detailed. You basically have to write a title. What are the learning goals for this class? What are the simple steps that you're going to do? And what are the materials that are needed? And you don't even have to have a formal or informal assessment. And so obviously that's not a real lesson plan, because with a real lesson plan, you have to have an assessment, right? So you choose what you want to teach, and it's small group classes. The number of kids. So wait, she's going to enter. Sherry just got home and she's going to enter on the computer now. Like, so the number of students that you're going to have in your small group classes is up to you. So in my my creative mystery writing course that I set, that's for like 13 to 15 years old. I have like up to 12 learners, right? 6 to 12 learners. But in my smaller classes where I'm doing like phonics, singing and whatnot, and it's for 4 to 7 years old, I have, you know, 3 to 6 learners because I want to keep it small. So it's up to you how many kids you want in your classroom. And it's also up to you as to like how long you want per session. So I'm going to stop this really quickly so that I can admit Sherry from the computer. So how big the classes are is up to you. All right. So I've had and how long the classes are is also up to you. So I've had a friend who's doing it, and she's got like a 25-minute class, and it's really simple with like little kids. So I can see that, selling out really quickly too, because little kids they have a very, very short attention span. I think Becca can attest to that, right? Like kindergartners, I mean, like their attention span is really like 20 minutes and that's it. So I know like with my first graders, yeah, like 20 minutes was tops, and then we got to do like a movement activity before they can concentrate again. But like with my dog training, because they're working with a dog, I had it a little bit longer, and because I expected there to be more folks in the classroom and I had to attend to each one with their dog, I made it a 40-minute class. But a lot of my classes are just 30 minutes long. So it's really, really up to you, okay, how long you want the classes to be and how small or big the classes are. And they tell you too, like when you're working on your course, right, designing your course, they ask you, like, to make sure that the age range of the kids does not exceed 4 years. But even so, like, I will not put a class of like, I won't put 10 to 14 years old in one class. I would maybe do 10 to 12. And then once they get to be like in their teens, maybe like 13 to 15 is fine, but I'm not going to do 13 to 16, because 13-year-old and a 16-year-old, like one of my friends wanted to sign up her 11-year-old kid in one of my classes that's offered for 15-year-old. And I'm like, well, he's 11. I mean, I think socially, like, are you going to be okay with him being with a 15-year-old? I mean, you got to think about all that. But some parents don't mind. So I had a 10-year-old kid who joined a class that was for 14 to 16-year-old, but it was dog training. So, it was, most of them were well behaved. That was good. Like, there are so many different types of classes that are available. When you first get approved, they want you to submit one class first, and that was just for a one time. You meet once in a video chat session. So that was my one-time class was a dog training exercise. Right? You can have like a story time thing with, I don't know, talking about main idea or characters, or kind of just do the elements of a story, story elements. That's up to you, but you will submit one time. And then once you have been approved for that one time, you can submit all kinds of other courses. So there are short courses that meet one or more times each week for 2 to 7 weeks. And then you have semester courses, which meets obviously one or more times for like 8 or more weeks. And then you have flex courses too, flexible courses. They don't meet live at all. You would just like post a video of something that you want them to do, and then it meets asynchronously, and you communicate like email and discussion boards on the Outschool platform. I've not done any flex courses. I've done one-time short courses and ongoing courses. Ongoing courses, they meet weekly without a set end date. And it's kind of like, if you think about kindergarten and circle time, like you just have the class like every day from, I don't know, 9:30 to 9:50 for 20 minutes, right? Just to give the kids something to do, because, that's like the start of the day and that's what they're going to do. Circle time, maybe sing some songs, talk about the weather, talk about the day of the week, go through the calendar, that kind of thing. So that will be an ongoing, but it also works well for art classes, book clubs, music lessons, and other topics that can always use further study, but you're not necessarily concentrating on just one skill per class. It's kind of like a fluid thing. And because summer is here, right? Or summer is almost here. Well, it feels like summer today. It's kind of like, it's windy, but it's still warm. From May 2020 to August 2020, they also offer summer camp. So these kind of courses, you meet 3 or more times within 1 week and must be in the live format. So you can't have it as flex format. And they start anywhere between May to August, the time frame. Questions about the type of classes that you can offer?
I don't think so. How long, I might have missed it, but how long have you been doing this already?
Only a couple of weeks. Only a couple of weeks. So I added Outschool because I was doing VIP Kid, right? And I stopped doing overnight classes. So I I would do Friday night into Saturday morning, Saturday night into Sunday morning. But the overnight classes they were really taxing on my body, and I have rheumatoid arthritis, so it causes me a lot of flare-ups. And my rheumatologist said you just need to like stay away from overnight. Like you're not made to do graveyard shift work, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was like, but the money is good, you know. Like overnight, it was good. So then I started exploring to see, okay, what can I do to replace this? And this is where it came about. And what I really like about it is because, you know, I don't have to work as many hours to be able to still get that amount of money.
Well, and you don't have to work crazy hours, right?
And I don't have to work, yes, crazy hours. And my body can, like, I'm working at an hour where I'm still awake, you know, like my classes have been, so far have been like 11 o'clock to 12, like 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 3:40. That's kind of nice. Like I'm awake during those times. I'm wide awake during those times. So yeah, so that's why I looked into Outschool. And there are, believe it or not, there are so many folks from VIP Kid and other ESL online that have moved to, like, you know, adding Outschool. But the competition, like, it's a very different type of competition. It's because it depends on what kind of classes you offer and what's going to appeal to the general population of kids out there and their parents. So every Sunday from Outschool, we get like an email of a list of emails of what parents are looking for. You can choose one of those, or you can just choose to, like, I didn't pick from one of those. I just chose what I wanted to do. So far it's been filling up, so that's great. Maybe one of these days I might.
Did you choose a particular age group that you wanted to teach, or did you choose the topic and then adjust it for the age group?
So I chose the topic, I chose the activity, and then I picked the age group that I want the activity to go with. So with my dog training stuff, I knew I wanted to start with teenagers because they were much easier to, like, you know, explain the things. And then I had so many parents like, can you offer it for like 9-year-olds or 10-year-olds? I'm like, okay, I'll offer a different section for that. So that's what I did, because I had it only for 13 to 16-year-olds, or actually no, it was 14 to 18-year-olds. And the younger kids wanted to do it as well. I'm like, all right, okay, I'll offer it to the younger kids. So I had a different section for that.
You did this with your own dog?
Yeah, I did it with my own dog, and they had to have a dog as well so that they could practice the exercise. Yeah, and like for my writing courses, that was for 13 to 15 years, just because that's like a age group that we usually use those books for. I have, and then I also have 4 to 7-year-olds where I'm doing, like, you know, phonics classes. Well, it's not really phonics, it's really singing. It's all singing and exercise with phonics. And it really brings me back to when I used to teach first grade for a long time. And we used to have lots of singing in my first grade classes. And so I'm like, oh man, I get to do this now. Like, I haven't done this.
I thought this was so cool. I mean, I've been a 3rd grade teacher for years and years. I've also taught kindergarten and preschool and 2nd grade. So I thought, surely I could translate that into this.
Of course. All your experiences that you've had, right? Teaching all those various grades, you're going to come up with activities that's like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's do this. Like, I mean, basically I did the phonics song stuff because I'm like, I miss singing all those Dr. Jeans, Aturita and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, I am going to go. Yes. I'm like, I'm going to have that class so that I can have fun while the kids are learning, you know? And so, I mean, they're learning and I'm having fun. It's like, you know, what more can you, and it doesn't get boring, right? Because it's like, you're singing it. So it's
anyway, yeah.
Right. And so you pick courses that you want to do. All right. So, and then when you apply there, so no bachelor's degree is required. So if you have friends who are like, you know, they're laid off or they're furloughed and they're looking for something to do, this is something that they could actually do if they wanted to. So like, I was trying to talk my son into doing it because he's 19, and I'm like, hey, you can teach these kids to do gaming because, like, he's a big gamer. I'm like,
my son, he's 24. I was like, ooh, he could do this.
Yeah, you're like, whatever that he's interested, like, you can totally teach them to do this. Like, you know, but they will ask you for your educational background. Now, no teaching experience is needed, but they do ask you about it. All right. But you don't have to have teaching experience. You do want to state your background, your expertise in the topics that you want to teach, though. So for me, it was very simple. It's like, you know, well, I've been a classroom teacher for a long time. So like I listed all my expertise in regards to academics. And then I also listed with the dog stuff, like I'm a dog trainer as well. And I have 5 dogs of my own. And so like, this is what we do. And this is what I want to teach the kids, right? What you bring to the table. And then in your application as well, and we're going to go through that really quickly, they're going to ask you like, you know, about your family, like you want to list about your family hobbies, likes, interests, like kind of give them a snapshot of what it is, what your life is like. And I'm going to click on this. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see it. I'm guessing, let's see. Nope, hang on 1 second. Oh, let me show you from my side over here. Okay, so let me share this. I gotta move you guys around. Okay. Oh.
Did you use Zoom before this? Because I've only used it for like VIP kid things and a few other things with family.
Right.
I mean, I
green practice classroom you can use.
Okay, well that's what I'm like figuring out how to like, you know, how to share your screen and how to show you the PowerPoint behind you.
There is a welcome info session that Outschool offers that you sign up with one of the teachers and then they will go through that with you.
Okay.
Now I didn't sign up because like I already knew how to use Zoom for like the longest time because university teachers using Zoom and we've always had online stuff. So like I already knew how to do that. But there are a lot of good tidbits, I guess, that you get in that session as well. So let me show you the application checklist here. So I went through this really quickly earlier. Do you meet the requirements? All right. So if you're already teaching with VIP Kid, you're going to meet all these requirements. Now, you need to, obviously, if you're teaching with VIP Kid, you already passed the criminal background check, but they'll do that again. Yeah, and like I was telling the folks, like, you know, sometimes it takes like just 10 minutes, but sometimes it takes 7 to 10 days. It depends on, I don't know, it varies from people to people. And maybe it varies to where your
maybe the state you're in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, here, one of the things that they're going to ask you is they're going to ask you to list any experience you have teaching or working with youth, whether as a professional, a volunteer, or in your personal life. But you don't need previous teaching experience to teach on Outschool. I know folks who don't have teaching experience who are teaching right now, and their expertise or passion is like so specific. Like I have like somebody like doing Dungeons and Dragons stuff, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, I probably need to take that class just to understand. So,
right. Okay.
Right. So the teachers obviously in Outschool come with a variety of backgrounds, but when you fill out that application, you want to be specific. If you have, you know, experience with the kids, the age, the type of subject that you have taught, you want to be very specific with that because they do look at that. Okay. And then Outschool teachers, you create your own classes, like what we talked about. You ask yourself what topics you're passionate about teaching. Now, they will ask you like, what experience or expertise do you have in these subject areas? Now, it's fine for you to not have like a specific class title for it. Like I didn't have a title. I just said like, I want to be able to teach the kids to train with their dogs in recall, sit, down, place, and whatnot. Like I gave like a specific thing. And then I had like, oh, I'm going to do like science experiments with this age group. You know, and then after that I had, what else did I write? And the other thing I wrote was about Singapore math, because like one parent said, oh, we want folks to offer Singapore math. And I'm like, yeah, I taught my son Singapore math strategy. So I'm like, I can do that, but I haven't created the course yet. I kind of wrote that in my application, but I haven't created the course. All my courses have been either dog stuff or stuff that's related to reading. Okay. So again, no teaching credential or certificate required to teach on Outschool, no bachelor's degree required, but they do want you to list, if you do have academic degrees, then they want you to list that. Okay. And make sure you are specific in like what year, what subject, state, or institution. And then you're going to have to record a 30 to 90 second video. Oh, not 60, but 30 to 90 second video for the Outschool team. Where you introduce yourself. So the video will show the kind of teaching environment you're going to provide, right? So if you have your, you know, green screen background, so make sure when you do the video, it's going to capture that background, right? And then make sure that you let them know like let them see your personality shine through in that video, right? So you want to make sure like it's not monotone, that you're excited, because they want to see an excited teacher. They actually say it in the application thing. It will provide the Outschool folks a quick read on you as the teacher. So, and then you should watch your video to make sure the recording worked before you upload it, because somebody recently got rejected and we couldn't figure out why. And we realized that, oh, the video that they uploaded wasn't the video that it was like some other video. And so they got rejected. So I'm like, okay, well, you got to reapply, but you got to reapply with a different email now. So like watch the video to make sure it works. And then you just wait for the approval. And obviously, you know, while you're waiting for approval, like I kept on checking the spam box as well, just to make sure it didn't go into the spam box, because that often happens that often happens. So you would check your spam box. Okay. Now, let me stop here. And any questions so far?
No, you've covered a lot of information. It's good.
I want to share with you more here. Hang on one second. Let me go here, share. All right, we did the time to apply. Okay, so the intro video doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. So like I don't know whether you can see this. Are you able to see this video?
Yes.
Okay, so hi everyone, welcome back. So I am Loretta Homburg, Teach and Reach YouTube channel. It's so nice to see you again. So recently, I decided to add Outschool to my online school teaching. I'm going to forward this because I want to show you my intro video. My intro video was very short and simple. Okay. And it's not snazzy. I am Loretta Homburg. I have been teaching K through 12 as well as undergraduates and graduate students starting from 2002 onwards. So right now, I am a university lecturer here in Baltimore, Maryland, in the School of Education. Before that, I was in an elementary school teaching in a K through 8 environment. I am also a certified reading specialist, as well as a dog trainer. So in my Outschool classroom, you're going to see some courses where I will be offering for dog training for 8-year-olds and above with your own dogs. I will be offering courses for Singapore math. I will be offering courses for striving readers. So readers who are having difficulty in either phonics or comprehension. I do one-on-one as well as whole group classes. We'll keep the whole group small, obviously. And I will also be offering courses for science experiments that we can do at home and then understand what it is behind those experiments. So I hope to be able to see all of you in my classroom soon. Bye. So that was a very video short that I submitted for the teacher application. So in your teacher application, they ask you to submit an intro video, and then once you get approved and whatnot, on your profile page for the teaching, they ask you to submit an intro video that you're going to introduce yourself to the parents and the kids. And I kind of just did like a I just did that one and just like, okay, I'm using it for both. I didn't have any problems getting bookings, so I'm just going to stick to what works for now. But as you can see, it's not anything fancy. It's just simple. I could lessen my in it, but it was just like off the cuff. I kind of did it like I just wanted to send it, because I figured that if I sat on it too long, then I won't get started. And some folks have a tendency to do that. It's like, oh no, I need to get the perfect one. No, you don't. Like just get it in, just get it in. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Like, yeah. And then
at the harbor behind you, did you put up a picture?
That is a virtual. It is the harbor. You're right. It is the harbor. But
that's because I'm originally from Fairfax, Virginia. Now,
awesome. Yes, you're not that far. Well, where do you live now?
Now I live in Florida. I've been here for 13 years.
Wait, Florida?
Now.
Yes. It is the Baltimore Inner Harbor, but yeah, it's a virtual background, obviously. Yeah, that's where we live. All right, so it's gonna be really quick, and then So I'm approved. Now what? You're going to submit one class. You're going to learn the process, and it's very easy. I mean, both of you have been teaching already. Like you've been teachers in a regular school, so you know, like the lesson planning is so much simpler than the lesson planning that we teachers had to write when we were student teaching. You remember how when we were student teaching and you had to like write really detailed stuff because like your mentor teacher needed to see it, or your principal, or if you're a new teacher, your like, you know, or even when we're teaching like a formal observation, everything's gotta be so detailed. Well, it doesn't have to be that detailed. They don't need to know like exactly what you're gonna say when, whatever. No, it's very, very simple. So my lessons that I've been submitting, I mean, it takes me probably like maybe like 10 minutes at most to complete. Because you just come up with like a really catchy title. The title probably takes a lot longer than anything else. Coming up with a catchy title, finding an image to go with that title probably takes longer. And then it's just learning goals. And then like kind of like a procedure of what you're going to do, right? They want to make sure that it's not just all teaching. Like you're not just, you know, lecturing to the students, that they're actually doing stuff. And then you don't even have to have an assessment. So you don't have to have an assessment, but if you do, then that's fine too, but you don't have to have it. So my writing course has kind of an assessment, because what's the point of doing a writing course without actually conferring with the students and doing that kind of assessment and using a rubric? But all my other courses, like even my dog training, something, there's no assessment. Like I'm just going to see what they do. Like it's an informal class thing, you know? The singing that I'm doing, that doesn't have an assessment. I mean, the kids are supposed to participate, you know, and hopefully they'll sign up for another class where they get to sing some more. So there's no real assessment. And then the Outschool does all the marketing for you. So you don't need to pay for ads elsewhere. Like if you're on Facebook, you'll sometimes, and you've searched Outschool before, sometimes you'll see like Outschool ads on Facebook. And then you can just, I mean, obviously once you have your course is approved, you can obviously share your profile and the classes on social media, like on your Facebook, on Instagram, or email, or people that you know, and maybe they can share it with other folks, you know, and you can get students that way. But I mean, all my students that I've got so far are all people I don't know. They're not related to people I know either. So it works. Let's talk about money. So you decide how much you're going to charge for each class. All right. The recommended is, I mean, it says here 10 to 15 per student for a 1 hour class. Most folks charge like $10 per half hour class. And then they have like between 3 to 6 or 3 to 9 students. And can you imagine? It's like, let's say you charge $10 for a half hour class, and it's for 4 to 6 year olds, and you made 60, right? $60. You don't get the full 60, you get 70% of that. So that's still $42 for a half hour class. That's still a lot more. That's for me, like, it's like 4 classes they gotta teach.
We count everything in classes at VIP Kid.
right. So that's like four classes. So Outschool does take the 30% service fee, obviously, because, you know, they're doing the marketing. They have the people who go through all your lesson plans that you submit, and they try to do a quick turnaround. I mean, it's not 24-hour, like sometimes, well, I've had it where it's been 24-hour turnaround, but sometimes it takes like about 2 days, you know, before it gets approved. So they have people to do that. They have people that are doing the, you know, the background check and whatnot. So charge accordingly. And when it comes time to actually, the one-time class is easy to figure out how much you want to charge. It's usually the ongoing, or the not flexible, but the ongoing, or the classes where you meet like several times a week. It's not, the amount of money that they're asking you is not just for one class, it's for like the whole thing. So one time when I was filling out, and this was for a 4-week class, which meets like 2 times a week, so 8 sessions altogether, and I put, I don't know, I can't remember what I put, but I was thinking like $12 per class, but I didn't do 12 times 8. So it was like, I just did like $12 per learner, right? And then, but what's good is that Outschool actually in the bottom part, it tells you, this is how much you might make. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. So then I went back and changed. I was like, oh, I have to charge like $90 or something, like 96, so that it makes sense to be like $12 per class. So you want to, that caught me off guard, but I'm glad, like, I read through it and saw like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So you can charge how much you want. obviously, you don't want to overcharge, then you're not going to get bookings. But if you charge a reasonable price and you say, well, if I want at least 3 students to be in that class, then I'm going to make this much, then it's worth my time, right? If you don't have that 3, let's say you don't have the minimum 3, your minimum can be anything. But if let's say you don't have a minimum number and you don't want to hold that class, then all you need to do is just send the parents, like, in the 24-hour before that, just send the parents and say, I'm going to reschedule this class to when we get more folks signing up for the class. And some parents actually will help you because they'll get their friends to sign up for the class. Their friends can, and so then you get your minimum, I've taught a class with my minimum not met, but it's still more than what I would have made at VIP Kids. So I'm like, yeah, that's okay. I'll just do it. They pay you through PayPal, and it's usually 7 to 8 days after a fixed duration class. So fixed duration class is kind of one of those where it's like a one-time class, all right? So 7 to 8 days after that. And then for those ongoing classes, you receive it on Sunday, 1 to 2 weeks after your ongoing classes start. And that's going to be a lot more because those ongoing classes, you usually charge like per week or per whole session, like a per whole semester kind of thing. And then, so that's the money part. Any questions about that? Okay. So it will be up to you to figure out like how much you make and keep aside for like taxes, because I mean, technically you're still supposed to report that. I mean, I don't think they even will give you a 1099 because I don't recall having to put in my social security number in the application.
So they don't give you a 1099. How do you report it?
It's
other income.
Yeah, you still can report income. You can still report income. Like, I think that's going to be up to you. You talk to your accountant about it. I'm not like, I don't want to get in trouble because I don't want to get audited for anything. So like, yeah, okay, because they can trace back to like, PayPal. The PayPal amount that you get paid is not going to be like a total thing. It's going to be like per class. So whatever you make per class, that's what's going to appear. Does that make sense? So if let's say you taught like 10 classes in 1 week, you're not going to get a cumulative amount. You're going to get for the per class. And then what course do you teach, right? What now that you're approved, what course can I teach? So you can teach whatever you want. That's one option. Or you can teach the topics that were requested by the parents in the weekly email. Okay. And it's like really, really interesting topics. Some of them are very specific, like how to take care of a chinchilla. Seriously? Right. I'm like, chinchillas are cute, but I'm not going to go get a chinchilla so I can teach this. Yeah. So, and like I was saying, like this past weekend, it was like, how to do makeup. Like, wow.
That's crazy. So I was going to ask you something about the topics. I mean, I guess you'll know whether your topic's good or not if people sign up or not, whether you have to just either the time or the cost of the topic or something like that.
Right. The other thing is you don't have to provide feedback, right? There's no like, you don't have to type for feedback. Like, it's like, awesome. So you're done with the class, you're done, So if you have any questions, well, you all have my email, so you can reach me via email. I'm also on Teach and Reach Facebook page, and on Instagram I'm at VIP Kid Teacher Loretta H. Yeah, look for me. And if you, let's see, I'm gonna send you the email with the application checklist, so you kind of know what to expect when you sign up. It's a very, very simple process, but they want you to, the one thing I think you got to be certain of when you key in all the details is just be specific, and also make sure the video works. Really, whatever, like, it's less stressful, I feel, than VIP Kid because it is your own curriculum and you are not stuck to like, oh, you got to finish it by this, because you know what I'm saying? And let's say stuff happens and you've got to cancel because life happens.
Right.
Speaking of what happening,
life happens, and so you may have to cancel, and if you cancel, there's no penalty. I mean, send the parents as much advance email as possible as you can, and then offer them like another section or offer them a refund, some parents they're like mad because like, well, I wanted my kid to be in this class because I have a meeting. And so like, and I understand that. Like, I've not had to cancel anything, but I've had folks who are like, they had to cancel, and well, because life happens,
Do you give homework? Like, so I love novel studies. That's what I love to do. And I like to teach novel studies, and we read them together. So I'm wondering, I mean, if it's a 45-minute class, we're going to do some things together in class.
Yeah.
But some things, you can't fit in 45 minutes. You give them things to do and come back?
I do. So like in my Maniac McGee book novel study, and we're doing it over a period of 4 weeks. So that we meet 2 times a week, right? But it's over a period of 4 weeks. So I teach them the different roles for Literature Circle. And while they are reading on their own, right, they are going to one day be the discussion director, and then the vocabulary enhancer person and whatnot. And but in the first class, I teach them how to be those roles. We do it together, right? The modeling, explicit modeling. And then after that, we do it together. And then after that, they get to do it independently while they're reading. But it will be up to them to read those chapters that I've assigned. And then I give them guiding questions as well, because not all kids, because it's open to anybody. So it's not just, everybody who is in this level group. So I want folks to like enjoy the reading. And so with that particular book, I also have access to audio stuff. So I kind of post it where the audio stuff, so folks can read and listen to it at the same time if they're not good readers, and then they can still come and participate. But I give them questions to kind of look at and answer while they're reading. And then we come for the discussion, and we're doing, and yeah.
Okay, good, because I recently
go by really quickly.
Yeah, they always do. I mean, I love language arts is my favorite. Science is the second. But I was going to say, I recently had to take a reading course for my recertification, and so I had to write a shared reading lesson plan. And I did one on a story in Fox, and it was great because for me, you don't usually. I know you're supposed to do self-reflection, but this was deep self-reflection. What worked, what didn't. Right. So I've got all this like ginormous thing, like when you were student teaching. And so that's what I was wondering. Okay. All right. Good.
I mean, you having been a teacher, right? You are a teacher, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You literally can teach anything that you are comfortable with, anything that, maybe you miss teaching and you want to be able to do it. Yeah. That's what I encourage you. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And I think it's just less stressful, and it's less fun. I mean, less taxing on the body, because you have to work overnight hours, and, I have to wake up like at 4:30 in the morning. I mean, you could, if you wanted to offer the classes to like kids in the UK. Like one of my friends taught a class at, I think she did it like at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so like her kids were all English and Scottish kids, because it was afternoon there. Yeah.
I mean, also the of it for me anyway is the ability, because now that VIP Kid has cut off that last hour where we used to be able to get from 9 to 10. So for me, I want to be able to teach at the normal time of the day, and make more money in the middle of the night. So
exactly.
About
This. And so it will pick up momentum too. The more you teach, the more you have classes on there. And they always recommend that you do, like, let's say it gets approved today, right? Let's say your class gets approved today. They recommend that you give at least 2 weeks for it to be advertised and whatnot before you hold class. But see, what I did was I just wanted to teach really quickly. Like I just want to get on board and start teaching. So I had my class like approved on, I don't know, like the Monday. And then I taught my first class like 4 days later. I didn't have my full number of enrollment, but it doesn't matter. Like I was still making more than what I did in VIP Kids. So I'm like, it's okay. Now I have the experience, and let me do more, Yeah. So, but they recommend that if you have it for at least 2 weeks, it's going to get booked because they do market it for you.
That's awesome. Well, good. I mean, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Not a problem.
I'm a visual person, I like to be able to ask questions, and I found it a little bit nebulous, I was like, well, okay, I know what teaching online is, and I know what teaching in the classroom is, and I know how to make my own lesson plans, obviously, but it's just one of those things. So, okay, that's awesome.
If you have any other questions, just let me know, okay? Just send me an email on Messenger too, it's fine.
Okay, and so you're saving this video so I can watch it for the part I missed. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to save this video, and then after that, I'm going to send it to the email that like all the folks that I sent the email to yesterday, which is like about 10 people. And then all of a sudden it's like, it just dropped down to like 4 or 3. And so that was it. That was the meeting that I had for the Outschool Info Session. If you need any more information or you want to get in contact with me, comment below, send me an email, teachandreach2020@gmail.com. And also go ahead and click on the referral link, as well as click on the application checklist to get your Outschool application started. Stay safe, keep smiling, keep shining, and the best is yet to come. Bye.